It is the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. This is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fort Minners Project.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. And of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys. And as well for this week, I got a returning guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is mrjustray.
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you here back on the show. And of course, as always, I got a couple of topics to get through. And with that being said, what's the first topic that I got here? And do you think, is it too early to have Jeff Hardy get back in the main event? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's too early. I think that Jeff Hardy's a key component of TNA. I think that the two people that's pretty much keeping TNA afloat right now are Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle. So I think that it's important to have him at main event status.
Okay. Yeah, getting into that with my thoughts and, with Jeff Hardy, I guess it's kind of a little bit too early, but I like what they're doing right now with him and Jeff Jarrett and having them in the feud and eventually building in the way slowly back up into the main event scene and eventually win the world title and do better for himself, and hopefully we don't have that whole, drug problem and stuff like that, get to him, and hopefully things will get better for him. So, things for Jeff Hardy, I actually have been enjoying, so really nothing too bad to say about it. So that's basically it when it comes to my thoughts of Jeff Hardy. The next thing that I got here, and what are your thoughts on Gail Kim returning to TNA, and what some things would you like to see out of Gail Kim now that she came back?
I think that it's good that Gail comes back in TNA because the WWE doesn't use women wrestlers properly, and I think that Gail Kim has showcased, even in the past, her ability to wrestle in TNA, and I think that WWE has actually taken advantage of the skills that she had. So I think that she's back in an organization that's actually going to let her, wrestle the way that she can.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that TNA was able to bring back Gail Kim, and hopefully she'll have a better run in TNA that she had with WWE with her second run. So hopefully we'll see as well, better things out of Gail Kim. Right now she's looking to be a heel. So, maybe we'll get to see another run for the Knockouts Championship with her, and hopefully we'll get to see a Gail and Mickey feud, which would be pretty cool to see, and, have her have other feuds as well. So, I am excited to have Gail come back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what TNA is going to do with her in the near future. So, hopefully, once again, we'll see better things out of Gail Kim, so definitely excited about that. Now we get into with James Storm here, and of course most of you know, and I'm sure you know already, we talked about this before. And what are your thoughts, any final thoughts basically, James Storm winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and what do you see coming out of this?
I think that even though a lot of people don't like it, I think it's a good thing because it actually leads to an angle they can create. They can create the angle of James Storm versus Robbie Roode. A lot of times they just throw championships on people not thinking that a storyline is going to be built out of it, but they can actually build a decent storyline out of this angle. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, with me, the first time I was pretty pissed off on how James Storm won the championship over Bobby Roode. To me, I thought Bobby had a good thing going for him since the Bound for Glory series, and winning that series and stuff like that, and was winning a lot. So to me, I thought Roode was ready, but unfortunately it wasn't his night at Bound for Glory. So then we have James Storm winning right after that, so maybe we'll get to see that little feud going on, and eventually Roode win a championship and have a good title run out of it. So right now I will say this, I will give it a chance, and we'll see what's going to happen with that, and hopefully nothing bad comes out of this. But I will give James Storm his props, and at least we have a veteran win the championships. I am, at least in a way, I am happy that James Storm was able to win. So that's it when it comes to that. And the next thing that I got here, and basically going into Vengeance, and do you think it was a memorable pay-per-view, and do you think we will see more? And what are your thoughts on the whole ring exploding since the Big Show and Brock Lesnar match?
I think that overall, I wouldn't say it's a memorable pay-per-view, but I would say that there was memorable moments in it. I think that with the ring imploding, I think it's just their way of letting this generation of up-and-coming wrestling fans see something like that happen. A lot of the wrestling fans that have been watching for years saw it with Brock Lesnar and The Big Show, but for the younger kids that have just tuned into wrestling to see it, it's something new for them to see. Yeah. Another significant moment in the pay-per-view, of course, was Kevin Nash and the whole R-Truth and Miz situation. You know, it seems to be like something they're doing every single pay-per-view, because this is the second or third time they've run in and ended the show with them attacking people. Yeah. So, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a memorable moment, but it's a moment where it's probably going to build into memorable pay-per-views in the future.
Yeah. Well, to me, with Vengeance, I thought it was good that they brought it back, and I was really excited for it. And going into the pay-per-view, you know, just the same. So it ended up being a good pay-per-view, and to me, I thought it was memorable too, at least in my opinion anyway. And hopefully we'll get to see more Vengeance pay-per-views to come in the near future. So you know, it was really cool to have that back, and maybe we'll see other old school pay-per-views, if you will, come back. You know, other than Vengeance. And you know, with the whole ring exploding, you know, definitely brought back memories. You know, with the Big Show and Brock Lesnar thing, and I was actually you know, able to see that when it was actually happening on SmackDown. So you know, yeah, it is new for the younger fans, so I'm sure they probably got a good kick out of that. And you know, it's actually pretty cool seeing that happening. I didn't know if they were gonna have the main event you know, happen after that, but they did. So you know, it was actually pretty cool seeing that again. So you know, it made out for a memorable pay-per-view nonetheless. So that's it when it comes to Vengeance and the whole ring exploding. So that's it when it comes to that. Now we move along to the final topic that I got here, and that is going into Samoa Joe. And do you think Samoa Joe will eventually come to WWE once this contract expires? And what kind of things would you like to see out of Samoa Joe, if indeed he does go into the WWE?
I think that Samoa Joe has a lot to offer. I think that over the last couple of years, TNA really hasn't been putting Samoa Joe out as much as they should, or putting him up as much as they should. The skills that he has, just watching some of his old ROH matches, he's an amazing wrestler. So I definitely think he has the potential to, you know, if anything, he could come in as a mid-carder and actually give credibility to one of the mid titles like the United States or the Intercontinental title. And for sure probably could push towards the WWE or World title and just add new blood to the situation.
Yeah, I think it would be alright, so sorry about that, guys. I had some little issues with Skype there, and with that being said, getting my thoughts on Samoa Joe, I think it's, you know, really going to be interesting to see where Samoa Joe is going to go from this. You know, I haven't really been too happy about his losing streak after losing, you know, each and every week, you know, on Impact and even pay-per-views. So to me, you know, the proper, you know, win I thought would have been good for Samoa Joe at Bound for Glory, but, you know, that didn't happen as well. So, you know, with him going into WWE, I think it would be, you know, probably, you know, better start and, you know, for him to end his career there and have some good matches with some of the guys there. And, you know, even Stone Cold mentioned it himself that he would like to see Samoa Joe go there. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. Of course, definitely Samoa Joe is one of my favorites. So, you know, it'd be really cool, you know, for him to work with some of the guys there. You know, he could work with guys like Jack Swagger, so on and so forth, just to name a few. You know, with that, so, you know, he definitely can have some, you know, good matches with some of the guys on the roster. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, nonetheless. But that's basically it with all the topics and, you know, what I have for this week for In the Hot Seat. Is there anything else you want to give your final thoughts on, or anything else you want to talk about before we end the show?
No, I'm okay.
Alright, so, you know, it's a pleasure to have you here back in the show. And you guys definitely talk about you know, what we talked about on this week's show. And definitely go check out mrjustray. I will leave a link down below in the description box for you guys to check out. And that about does it for this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And of course, definitely I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.
Peace.